For high school teacher Nicholas DeAntonis, September 11th is more than just a tragic day in American history, but also an impactful lesson for his students. The AITE history teacher is one of only 8 teachers in the country to receive the 9/11 Tribute Center's annual Teacher Award. Because so few educators are supported in their efforts to teach about 9/11, the center honors those who create lessons that help students understand the impact of that day.
Many of these kids weren't even alive, or were too young, young enough not to remember anything, and that really was like, wow, like, because you kind of took for granted, you're like, okay, 9/11, everyone knows what happens, like, who needs to teach it? But these kids, some of them know, like, some of the basics they don't even know.
So DeAntonis decided to dedicate an entire unit to September 11th in his Middle Eastern Studies class this year.
I said, this is really important, it's a Middle Eastern Studies class, and also, being that it began in September, it would correspond with 9/11.
The ball got rolling this summer when DeAntonis became a curriculum consultant for the Tribute Center's Teaching 9/11 Toolkit for educators.
Kind of inspired me to kind of break out of my shell a little bit and teach more of it and make it more of a unit versus just something I did like a lesson or two on.
DeAntonis is one of only 16 teachers nationwide whose lesson plans are included in the online kit, which was launched this school year.
So there's a really nice website that has a lot of short videos. Then there's also lesson plans associated with that for people who, want to teach 9/11 but don't know how and don't know how to broach the topic.
As part of the unit, DeAntonis had his students do an oral history project, interviewing their parents and others who lived through 9/11. He also took the class to the Tribute Center and Ground Zero. DeAntonis, who is currently studying foreign policy in the Middle East, says it's unique to teach about a historical event he actually lived through.
I was in college and I was actually in religion class, and we, had break from class, and everyone was staring at the, TV screens and trying to question, like, what happened. And, it's certainly I can provide my personal experience. So just teaching them that and like just things that you learned on the news that day, is part of that history.
Teaching modern day history also has its challenges.
Not all of the history is known about it. And what I say by that is like a lot of the official documentation, like official records that would give us, from the government as far as, how historians really understand the history haven't been released yet.
But DeAntonis says the topic will become easier to approach with time.
It is difficult because you're dealing with groups of people, and there's a lot of animosity and sometimes hatred. As we've got further away from 9/11, it has become more history than an event that is, really kind of more of an emotional kind of thing.
For now, the history teacher just wants his students to walk away with a better grasp on the topic, past, present, and future.
Things that are happening today in the Middle East, ISIS and other terrorist organizations, it's all, it all has some connection to it on some level. But they have a better understanding of the world, and particularly the Middle East, and a more open-minded perspective than just saying like, all Muslims are bad and all of the West is good, and then there's a gray area. There's something in between that needs to be understood, and that's really what I'm trying to bring out in this class.
DeAntonis was also nominated by Stanford Public Schools for the Teacher of the Year Award, to be announced in April. Reporting in Stanford, I'm Samantha McKelvey for It's Relevant News.